What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my video recap for The Boys. Now, this review, I heard a lot about the show. I wasn't pretty much sure about it, but I decided I'm gonna check it out because that's what I do. And so I said to myself, all right, Jay, let's watch one episode of this. Let's see how it goes, and if it's worth anything, we'll watch some more. And needless to say, I ended up watching all 8 episodes back to back. I mean, it was so good, I couldn't stop watching it. And it's another home run by Seth Rogen and company. I'm gonna break it down, show you a little bit more about the details, but it's pretty much about superheroes. It's similar to The Watchmen, except it's been a more modern day time, and it shows superheroes in a realistic way with flaws and problems just like everybody else. But it's also run by a corporation, and so with big corporation behind it, all kind of other things come into play when it comes about making money. Anyway, let me break it down. Here you go. For those that don't know, the show is actually adapted from a comic. Now, I haven't familiar with this comic, but it's based off of a comic, and Seth Rogen and partners actually have made this comic come to life. Now, like I said, I wasn't too familiar with this comic, but I know that they did a good job on this TV show and making it seem interesting and realistic. Now, if you're not familiar with Seth Rogen, he's behind a lot of hits like Superbad, Pineapple Express, Observe and Report, and many others, Sausage Party. And so he's a great comedian, and he's good at bringing comedy to the screen. And so with this, it does have a comedic aspect to it, but then it's also a seriousness. And some of these characters, they do seem funny on how they're portrayed. They got a guy that's called Transparent, and some of the things that's going on with him, it was kind of funny on how he walks around and uses his powers. It also has Jack Quaid, who is the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. Now, Jack Quaid actually does a great job in this series, and he's portrayed as the main character, but also like the nerd that kind of falls into this situation. Within the first 5 or 10 minutes of season 1, episode 1, something tragic happens to his girlfriend, and that kind of puts him on a downhill spiral against superheroes. And so then he starts to realize, as corporation and things get involved and lawyers come, that these guys are full of crap and they make mistakes and things, but they try to sweep it under the rug, cover it up as if it didn't happen. And then that's when he's introduced to this guy named Butcher, who is played by Carl Urban, who's another great actor that a lot of people have seen but may not have noticed. He was in Doom. He was in a lot of other great movies as well, Judge Dredd remake, as well as Jesse Usher, who's also an up-and-coming young actor. He was on a show called Survivor's Remorse that was produced by LeBron James, as well as in the new Independence Day and the new Shaft. Now, he plays a superhero called the A-Train that has super speed, and he's part of the main reason on why the show takes the turn that it does. Now, it comes to find out that these guys are not who they're portrayed to be. Now, we all know about Marvel Universe and the movies and stuff like that. Well, they make this seem like it's going on here. The name of the company is called Vought. And so they have the VCU, the Vought Cinematic Universe. And so they're making movies and merchandise off of these superheroes. Butcher, he doesn't believe in superheroes. He knows that they make mistakes and are full of crap as well. And so he teams up with Jack Quaid, and they end up going down the road of trying to find out and prove that these guys are full of crap and expose them. They put together a little team, that's the boys, and they go on a mission to try to expose the ins and outs of the superhero world, because the rest of the public think they only do good and they don't make mistakes, not realizing that these guys have a lot of flaws, make a lot of mistakes, and it just ends up getting swept under the rug. Now, the one thing about this is that since it's corporatized, they have superheroes, and so they come and work for the corporation. Then they actually say to other cities or something, hey, you guys need a hero in Detroit. we'll have this such and such hero come out there for $300 million, and he'll patrol there for X amount of years to help keep the city safe. And so it's not like in other shows where the superhero patrols where he was born or where he was from. Spider-Man and patrols his neighborhood. Batman patrols his neighborhood at Gotham or City or whatever the case. No, these guys are all over. They work for the corporation. They bring in money. They make movies. They write merchandise. The things that they say on TV is scripted by script writers. And so it's actually shows it as somewhat, if it was actual today, this probably would happen, because you would think a lot of these guys that have powers, if it was real, they wouldn't have money. And so the main person is actually called Homelander, and he's like the Superman hero, got the laser beam eyes. And then woman is Queen Maeve, and so they're the baddest of the baddest. And then they got this other guy that's like the Aquaman character, and his name is Deep. And so he actually in the first episode creates another character arc with one of the new recruits, and it shows that he actually had a Weinstein moment, if you know what I mean. And so it shows that all kind of things would be going on, just as if it was a movie studio or a corporate America. They would have issues with high-ranking people and different things. And so it also has the superhero aspect as well. And so it comes down that he actually said a few things, did a few things, and then he pretty much got punked and got his whole card pulled by Homelander, because everybody knows that nobody would be able to beat Homelander. And then he's got somewhat of an attitude as well. But in the face of the public, he's all smiles and, makes everybody feel like, he's a Captain America-esque type person. But behind the scenes, dude is a mean mother. Watch your mouth. And so it's real interesting to see how this all works out. And one thing about the Jack Quaid's character, his father is played by Simon Pegg, who's also a famous actor who was in Shaun of the Dead and many other Mission Impossibles and a lot of other movies, to name a few. And so he doesn't have a huge role, but it is refreshing to see experienced actors. And then one of the main people in the show who runs the corporation is Elizabeth Shue, who was in Adventures from Babysitting, among others. If you old school, you'll remember who she is. And so she helps run the corporation, keep the heroes in line. They call them soups, and keep the superheroes in line, help manage and increase the budget, try to make new deals with cities and governments. And it's just really interesting to see if superheroes were real, that this is probably a way that they would behave, some of them. And so some have a guilty conscience about some of the things that's going on. Some could care less. It's one interesting scene that happens on an airplane with Homelander and Queen Maeve. It's really something you have to see. It's kind of tripped out. But it's a good show. It's damn sure something that actually is worth watching on Amazon Prime. Amazon is now trying to step their game up. So if you have Amazon Prime, this is a show that you can watch for free. And Amazon is building their Amazon Prime network to compete with Netflix and Hulu and all of the other streamers. And so far, they've spent and invested a nice amount of money into their service, and it seems like it's starting to pay off. The one thing that I do enjoy about this show is that it is shot as if it was a movie. All of the cameras are great cameras, crystal clear. It's very graphic, blood, guts, it's a lot of sexual innuendos and actually showing brief nudity. They don't really hold any punches, and a lot of graphic language and things. So if you got a small child, this isn't the Marvel universe where it's all happy and nobody ever says too many curse words. This is like very graphic. The guys and the boys and everything is just a real interesting way to look at the show. And unlike The Watchmen, it's a modern version. The Watchmen seems to be in like a alternate universe of the 80s or 70s or something to that sort. And this is a modern day version, and it's extremely graphic, and I enjoyed it actually. And so I think that you will too. If you got Amazon Prime, you already have access to this. You can just go to the App Store, whether you have an Apple or Android, and just download Amazon Prime Video. Once you download Amazon Prime Video for free, you can watch this show, enjoy it, and it'll give you something to watch until your favorite shows come back on the air. And this will also add to your rotation of favorite shows, and you'll be waiting for this to come back as well. I hope you all enjoyed this review. I enjoyed the show. Check it out. The Boys, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Thank everybody that support me at patreon.com. You are my biggest fans and my biggest supporters. Without your help, I wouldn't be able to continue to grow my channel, learn more about the tricks of the trade, and improve my videos. I give you guys special benefits based on the tiers that you guys join. And also, you get to see my videos first, unless it's a time-sensitive video. And also, I put special videos on Patreon that I don't share with everybody else. So, I hope you guys enjoy. If you want to see more exclusive content, please join me at Patreon. And last but not least,
thanks for watching. And please subscribe.
And
don't
forget to bang that
bell
and smash
that
like button.
and I'll see
You in the
next video.
peace.